And we welcome you guys and gals all in to another episode, week 14 edition, or rather episode 14 edition of Catching Up with Coach. And I am your solo host for the afternoon. I am Coach Trey. Welcome in, come one, come all. Pause. So where do we start? Uh, Obviously, where are you guys listening? Where are you, all at? You at the crib? You babysitting the kiddos while you're waiting on someone to come home? Are you cooking? Are you, passing the vacuum? Like, what exactly are we doing? Where are we hanging out this afternoon? And what kind of questions do we have as it pertains to the college football landscape, the coaching carousel? Obviously, most nearly the football team that you most all cheer for, and that's LSU. To be completely honest with you, I have not really gotten an immense amount of sleep over in the last week. There is just way too much going on right now, and funnily enough, we are actually in the midst of packing for a little work conference trip. So I will be on location. I will be on location for Thursday's show with Russo and myself. I will likely be, hotel room, AirPods in, ready to roll. I will not, unfortunately, have the mic set up. I will not have the studio set up for all of you on Thursday. But we are here now. We are here live before I, go into the living room and get finished packing for in essence what's going to be a 4-day conference. And I will literally be landing Saturday night. So as soon as we're ready to tee it up and kick it off, I'll be getting up off the plane there. So for any of you that may be at the airport, come and say hello to your boy, and then buy me a drink. Just playing. Only I'm not. So what is it that you all want to talk about? I mean, is like, where do you even want to start? I mean, obviously we're going to get into keys to victory here. Certainly we can talk about the LSU presidential search. We can talk about them going with the chancellor route. We can talk. I mean, we can kind of go a couple of different ways with this one. So it's more of a cat. It's like literally that's what the show is, spawned over, is catching up. And so kind of catch you guys up to some of the things that you might not have been able to hear throughout the day. We are certainly going to work, our way through, in essence, everything. However, there's kind of a lot to wade through. As Bo writes in, "What up, Coach? What up, baby? How we feeling? We're in here. Appreciate you tuning in. Appreciate you being a consistent viewer there. Be honest, y'all. This is not a an overly analytical catching up with Coach episode. This is going to be one of those episodes where we kind of have to talk about a lot, but I do want to talk about critical matchups as Waldo hits into the chat. Do you agree with the firing of Scott Woodward? I do, just not in the way that they did it. And I've said this before, if you will find most often in college football, you are going to pay with your job when you don't get the football job correct. There was a lot of pushback about the Bo Pelini thing whenever it happened. There was a lot of pushback in the way Will Wade was shown the door. And that rubbed people, the wrong way. And you can make it through those kinds of things, a coordinator, getting, a head coach out of there, hiring a baseball coach, which Stephanie Rimp is to take credit for a lot of that. But Scott ultimately had to vet Jay and get him here. And of course, Kim Mulkey, who could have predicted that, that would have gone as well as it did. Obviously, everyone with a brain. So you got to give him his props. And but you can't have the university foot this kind of bill and miss this badly. So I do agree with the firing, but in the way that they did it, I think it could have been done better. I think it could have been done in a more, I don't mean this pejoratively, but in a more judicious, ethical manner. The things that were said by the governor are said behind closed doors. I don't think that that the governor said anything that a football coach or an AD don't always hear. I think they hear those things all the time. I just think that they don't necessarily need to be aired out onto the airwaves, but a lot of what he said is based in truth. It's just the way that he went about it that, certainly is rubbing people the wrong way, and they have, certainly the ability and the prerogative to have that opinion. May even agree with it in a way. Critical matchups to watch, particularly on the line. Waldo, I'm going to need you to hang in there because we are absolutely going to get to that. That is actually in my keys to victory, key matchups that we are going to watch for. I think on the offensive line is likely where we're going to have to get started. But we are going to get to the key matchups here. Certainly don't want to make you wait too long for that one, but we are going to get into that. Something else that I don't necessarily know is talked about as much relatively, but considering that it is the team that you guys all pay attention to, LSU did elect a president today. To be completely honest with you, I'm not exactly certain that we know. Oh, do we have a little bit of breaking news here? Russo is up in the chat. Apparently, we have a little bit of breaking news. I don't know that we have a breaking news edit. Can we get a breaking news edit in here, Ruse? Take a brief pause, guys. We do have some. Do we have some breaking news? There's something that I'm missing here. Oh wow, this just in. Ross Dellinger reports the LSU's new president, Wade Rouse, has made the decision to elevate Verge Osbury as permanent full-time athletics director. Sources tell at Yahoo Sports a coming days. Well, that's certainly a good thing to do right as soon as we get live. All right, Verge. Okay. So that is our first official breaking news of the afternoon. There is something certainly to be said. Also, shout out to LSU for waiting till we went live to come forth with that. We appreciate you, boys and girls. Verge Osbury, full-time athletics director. Wow. I'm going to be completely honest with you. I kind of broke news while trying to announce other broken news. Wade Rouse, for those of you that don't understand who that is or know who that is, Wade Rouse was the president at McNeese University in Lake Charles, Louisiana. Widely talked about. We talked about it a couple of shows ago. Had a couple of people in the chat, mainly Sean, talking about, those things are, certainly things to keep your eye on, a name to watch out for. Shout out to those of you that, kind of were tuning in on the Twitter streets with that, the X streets rather. Wade Rouse, immediately, you've got a new AD. Verge was acting as the interim AD. Verge Osbury has been around the program for quite some time, a name that you all know if you're an LSU diehard fan. Obviously, a former football player here. Verge has not only a son that plays on the football team, he also has a son that plays on the Notre Dame football team over under Marcus Freeman, and certainly has a lot of pull and a lot of people pulling for him. This certainly does not come without its fair share of talking points. Obviously, as there's a bit of a history, so to say. But for all intents and purposes, Verge is gonna bleed purple and gold. A lot of people love Verge. A lot of people I respect love Verge. I've never met him. Listening to him today on Matt Moscona's show over at 104.5 ESPN. Matt did a great job talking to Verge, asking him good questions. One of the questions he was asked, of course, was about the Nick Saban, news, which apparently they have a working relationship in which they talk, just about every other week. I'm, paraphrasing here, but in essence, he thinks that he's good, probably not going to take the job. I think that every man has his price. I think especially when your wife can make you sit up in a chair and blow out your birthday candles, I think she can tell you that we're going to go back to work for 15 or 20 mil a year, but we'll see how that works out. It seems as though there's been a couple of, scuttlebutt talking points as it pertains to Verge maybe being elected as the full-time AD. I'm going to be honest with you. It felt like that was probably the easy move to make. I thought maybe they might go for the fella over there at Georgia. Maybe you go and elevate your AD right there from McNeese. Maybe you go and get someone from Southeastern. Maybe you go and get someone from Florida State. Some people with some ties, but you actually had a bird in the hand right there with Verge. Verge is going to spearhead this thing and is certainly going to give it all he's got as it pertains to getting a college football coach hired here at the university. And I think to be completely transparent with you, I don't mind the hire. I think it's going to be fine. I think it's going to be great. Verge is going to do really, really good work. He's going to work with people. They're used to him. The coaching staff is used to him. Their people around the program are used to Verge, and I think a unison voice is a good thing. And so Wade Rouse has not even gotten in the room yet to go and put his box of things on the desk, already making making moves. So shout out to them. So that's actually going to be where we kind of kickstart this show. But before we continue on, I just wanted to give a massive shout out to our friends over at Webb Western. Webb Western, guys, to be completely honest with you, I got involved with them, a couple of months ago, a few months ago, really at this point. Awesome company. Dylan, the CEO and the founder, super, super awesome guy, puts out some really great clothes for the guys. If you guys are looking for camo, if you're a fisher, if you're a hunter, if you're just looking for some, Western with a touch of drip, aspect there. Great hats, great shirts. I actually wish that I had it with me. They just put out a new camo t-shirt. It's kind of like it's not really like a tight fit, but it's kind of like a everyday fit type of camo shirt with the little logo on the side, here on the chest. Dude, it's just a good quality stuff. Great guys, great gals, great company, super, super cool to work with. And if you guys want to get into the action there over at Webb Western, that's WEBB Western. Code Trey G10 at checkout. That's Trey G10 at checkout. Obviously, super, super excited to have them as a personal sponsor, hoping that someday we can get big enough to make them a personal sponsor of the show, or rather a show sponsor. But for the time being, super excited and grateful to shout them out. And give them a little bit of love. As it pertains to the scuttlebutt, not only are you announcing a president, you're announcing a chancellor, you're now announcing an AD. It kind of feels like you are putting together quietly the Avengers to kind of get this all situated. Now, of course, one of the big Avengers is going to be the football coach. So where do we stand? I don't know how to. I don't. There is no way other than to say it like how I'm about to say it. LSU has made contact with Nick Saban. It is whether or not Nick wants to take the job that ultimately we are working towards. I do firmly believe that there are, things to be said about Nick. Does he want to do it? He's 74 years old as of Halloween. Is he still cut out for this? Guys, I have no idea. But if you put him on a 3-year contract and ask him to steady the program, get the ship right, and go make a run at it for 3 or 4 years, do I think that a 75-year-old Nick Saban can still do it? I absolutely do. You've got the horses in the stalls ready to run and ready to run fast for you. You have got you've got Austin Thomas, you've got Sherman Wilson, you've got the people in place to you've got Sherm. You've got I mean, dude, Frank Sherman, Austin by themselves can go and do some damage, brother. You've got it. The problem is that I think that Nick's good. The odds have obviously come down quite a bit. I do think that contact has been made. I do think that there has been money floated out there. Certainly there's going to be some discussions to be had. But ultimately, I think you make him tell you no first before you go to everyone else. And then I think the pivot does go ultimately to Lane Kiffin. However, that does not say that you don't go after someone like a Kenny Dillingham, someone like a Russo kind of made it his guy. I mean, for all intents and purposes, Eli Drinkwitz. Do you make Marcus Freeman tell you no? Like, give me someone of that ilk to right this ship if the Godfather doesn't want to come back and give it a go. However, what I will also say pretty comfortably is that you don't necessarily need to go for broke to get him back. I do think that you can get him back for the right money. I just don't know that it's 100%, what ultimately is going to happen. It feels as though it'd be a long shot, but not impossible. Give me some Drankwitz, says Russo. I mean, man, the memes would be crazy. The memes would be crazy. I listen. That news has been made official, by the way. That news has been made officially. Verge Osbury is announced the new athletics director for your Fighting Tigers of LSU. Wow, what a day. What a day. How about that? I think also too, guys, for for what it's worth, I think that you're at an interesting point. You are going to have to go after someone that is in the college football playoff. Someone at some point is going to have to step away from their job to come and take your job. There is no good time. Granted, once they're officially into the college football playoff, yes, you can get them to entertain the conversation a little bit more and agree to the job once they have, a confirmed shot into the playoff. But at some point, someone is going to have to leave their job to come and take yours. I just, unless obviously, even if it's Nick, he'd have to leave game day, or ESPN rather. It feels like you have the pick of the litter. Obviously, Auburn comes open. They fire Hugh Freeze. Florida's obviously not gotten a guy. It feels like Summerall might be the guy over there at Auburn with the Alabama ties. It feels like Drink goes to Florida if you don't get him. If you go to Lane, maybe they go to Drink, or maybe vice versa. Penn State is obviously still available. There are jobs that are out there. UCLA, like there are jobs out there that are in Arkansas that are ripe for the picking. It just feels like you're the best one, and no one really disagrees with that. It's clear and obvious. And so for those reasons, I think anyone would take the call, despite even someone like Dan Lanning that says that he's good. He's going to take the phone call. He's going to ask a couple of questions. So you may say I'm good, but he will take the phone call. And so in a world where you're there, it's just interesting that I'm still seeing a path to you making a game out of it this weekend in Alabama. And listen, I'm not saying that you're going to go on the road and beat Alabama. You started as a 5-point dog, and it is now doubled. You are now a 10-point dog on the road at Alabama. I'm just saying. Just hold on now. Just hear me out. What happens if you play your best game on the road at Alabama? You win? Is your best game good enough to beat that team? I think yes. I think your best game is good enough to beat them. They can't also play their best game at the same time. They are better than you. You are good enough to win, clearly. We have seen crazier things happen. It feels like there's an element of surprise. And if you take advantage of that element of surprise, I do think that you will have the ability to really go out there and shock some people. I feel that way, y'all. I do. I don't look for it to happen. I don't think that I will pick Bama to win the game. I will pick Bama to win the game. I'll do it here. But we've seen this movie before. The reason I'm not even sure. You ever see those TikToks where the lady's like, how do you professionally say, like, I need her for right now. The reason you weren't competitive enough in these games that you've now lost, I'll give you Ole Miss for an example. You had no business losing to Ole Miss. They had just as many mistakes as you did, if not more. They were at home. You had them on the ropes. your inability to finish drives and your ability to get off the field ultimately is the reason why you did not win that football game. You could not stop a three-man pressure, a three-man front. But ultimately, what I do think has killed you is you sucked on defense the last few years, better last year, but you had enough offense to overcome that in games. You lost because you could not stop going 3 and out. You could not stop stalling stupidly on drives. You can't score in the red zone. All of the things that you do wrong on defense are masked and covered up when you turn 3 into 7 and 0 into 3 and 0 into 7. Your defense has more juice. They have more confidence. They don't have to play with their backs against the wall. They don't have to feel like the pressure is all on them. It's not a 3-point game. It's not a 2-score game. It is good to keep them off the field. Y'all, you haven't been able to have offense. What happens when you're running the ball effectively in the third and fourth quarter? Every week we've had run the football, run the football, run the football. I'm running through my notes, run the football. I need to see LSU, and we're going to get right into keys to victory here. We're 21 minutes in. We're going to get right into keys to victory here. I need to see LSU run the football for 4 quarters. Not 1, not 2. I need to see it for 4 quarters. 1, 2, 3, 4. All of them. You cannot get away. You cannot get away from Harlem Berry when he is the only person with a pulse running the football right now with the sieve of an offensive line. Guys, do you understand what has happened? LSU has run the ball for 6 yards a carry, and you have gone away from them. That is why Joe Sloan no longer has a job here. By all means, Joe Sloan is a nice guy. There's a lot of people that are sad that good people don't have jobs anymore. Not a lot of people are disappointed that his play calling is no longer going to be the calls here on offense. I need to see you run the football for 4 quarters. I swear, if I see another half start where you avoid the only person with a pulse on offense, I am going to freak out. I'm going to literally rip the mic from this desk and whirl it like a helicopter and sling it across the street. You have to run the football consistently, despite whether it's working or not, because later on down the road, it will work. You will tire the other side of the ball out. You will be able to run the ball, but you can't avoid it. You have to stay consistent with it. Harlem Berry gives you that. He is giving you the most right now. Caden Durham, a good little mix of Caden Durham. Get some mix in there. Get a little Jawan Johnson when you want to get weird. Hand it to Xavion on a little end around or a little out of the backfield. I just need to see it, guys. I need to see it. That's the first thing I need to see. The next thing I need to see is I need to see Trey Green get involved again. You can't go away from that. He can't be stopped. You can't stop him. No one's going to jump over him. No one's going to push him out of the way. Unless he's guarded one-on-one on the boundary by a D end. Who is going to stop that man on man? And if you have to double him, someone else is open. So what I need to see is I need to see Trey Green be featured everywhere. I've had enough with the Bauer Sharp situation. There's too many assignments being missed there. Listen, he might be a great teammate. There might be promises being kept and made there. I've seen enough there. I've seen enough. Thank you, son, for coming here and for paying your dues. I've seen enough. Give me some Trey Green. Okay. Give me some Trey Green. Give me some Donovan Green when we need a block. I'll take the false start every now and then if that's what it takes from Donovan. But I would like to see the ball go to Aaron Anderson instead of Bauer Sharp. I'd rather it go to Trey Green other than Bauer Sharp. I would like to go to Barry and Brown other than Bauer Sharp. I'm sorry. I have seen too many drives be stalled because we are trying to get the ball to someone specific instead of what makes the most sense. Make it easy. Run the ball. Trey Green getting involved. Can you get quick passes? Everyone's going to talk about the offensive line. That's my third key to victory. Offensive line has to stand up. How can they best stand up? They're not going to get 40 pounds stronger and heavier overnight. But what can you do? Quick passes over the middle. Aaron Anderson, dink, dunk, dink, dunk. Get him over the top with a Chris Hilton. Get him over the top with a Berrien Brown. Get a Trades Green on a slot fade. Get like you have to utilize the middle of the field. They will creep out. They will creep out the more you complete the football. Look at Oklahoma last year. Look at Baylor last year. Hello. It's not that difficult to conceptualize that you should be able to compete in this football game. So you have to make it easy on this offensive line. There is currently still a concern on whether or not Carius Kern is going to be healthy enough to go for this football game. He obviously left the game. Are you going to go DJ Chester? Is Carius going to go? Are you going to flip Weston Davis over there to left tackle? Who's going to play right tackle? Like there's a lot to be said on this offensive line. I don't envy Brad Davis's job over the past couple of weeks, and it feels as though LSU hasn't played in a damn year. But you have to get people involved, brother. You have to. Like you have to get all hands on deck. I know that you want to keep your red shirt, but if you can help us win a football game on the road at Tuscaloosa, back against the wall, fate of the season, the world is against you, no one's expecting you to win. What do you have to lose? Go out there and play. If this is the only game you play, let it be this one. On the biggest stage of the biggest moment of your life and the biggest game of your career, go out there and be the best that you can be for the person next to you, for the people back home that are cheering for you and love you, for your mom in the stands, for everyone that says that or that says that you weren't going to be an LSU Tiger, and maybe you find yourself playing on the field in the game. This is your time to shine. I don't care who it is, anybody that can block somebody off the edge, literally anybody needs to be on that offensive line. It just can't be me because I'm not big enough and I don't have any eligibility left. but really, it needs to be all hands on deck. And fortunately enough, I do think that Frank is going to be that way. I do think that Frank understands that, and I think that Frank is going to do everything he can do to make sure that you are successful enough as it relates to getting the right people involved and on the field. I do feel that way. I think there's going to be a lot of autonomy from the people. Alex Atkins getting autonomy to get the people involved that he wants to see involved, and it just may look a little bit different. That's all I'm saying. Key number 4, can you make Alabama one-dimensional? These receivers at Alabama are good, dude. They're good. But you've got DBs. Can you make them try to run the football? They have not competed well at running the football. Can you make them one-dimensional? Can you make them be in obvious passing downs? Can you get them to 3rd and 8? Can you get them to 3rd and 6? Can you make them get to 2nd and 10? Can you get them to be uncomfortable and go and steal points? That's going to be a really big discussion piece, guys, because truthfully and really, I think that there is a lot that can be said for this Alabama offensive line. Brother, they're good. Caden Proctor is about 9'5" and about 450. Okay, and they throw him the football. They throw him the football in the red zone. Like imagine you throwing the ball to Lael Collins, back in 2011. Like imagine you throw the ball, a screen pass to Lael Collins, and you tell Jarvis and Odell to go block for him. Like that's what Caden Proctor does, and so they're not afraid. They're not afraid. Like for all intents and purposes, Ryan Grubb calls plays like he is legit off a perk. Like he just gets after it, gets a nice little sweat going, maybe a little bit cross-eyed, and then starts calling plays. That's how that dude calls offense. And it's sometimes a sight to behold. You've got Ty Simpson. You've got Ty Simpson having the season that you thought that Garrett Nussmeier was going to have. Can Garrett Nussmeier stand up? It's been a long time since we've talked about Garrett in a positive light. It just feels like he's had bad game after bad game. He's negative connotation to him. I still don't think that Garrett's the reason why you're losing football games. I also don't think he's the reason why you're able to win football games. I think your defense has a lot to say about that, but I think getting him comfortable, getting him in a routine, short pass, run the ball, short pass, run it deep, throw it deep, short pass, throw it deep. run the ball, short pass, run the ball, go deep. There is going to have to be some, like, you can't for 35 seconds and then go to the line and then sit there and then change and then with 2 seconds left, let there be a snap. No. It's like this. And I'm not saying Ole Miss tempo. I'm not saying that. I'm saying you have to go fast. If you are going to give them the element of surprise, punch them in the mouth, get out the way. Jab, stick, move, stick, move. It's a boxing match. Get in their face, pop them 2 or 3 times, get out the way, let them get tired, pop them again. This LSU football team cannot be slow, y'all. If they're slow, they're going to lose by 2-3 scores. Period. The quickest way to make them slow is 3 and outs on offense, and the defense has to stay on the field. They're not going to be able to hold up late in the third and in the fourth. It's going to be difficult for me to see you guys compete in this game if you are not putting up points on offense and having tempo, getting everyone on the sideline to believe that there is a way they could win this football game. That's the way you win the game. There has to be some belief. They'll play for Frank. I promise to God they will play for Frank. Hell, I would play for Frank. You would play for Frank. They will play for Frank, but they have to play for each other. They have to play for themselves. You got to get them involved, y'all. And you got to score points to do that. So can Alex Atkins fix your red zone, woes? And then last but certainly not least, I've got to see you pressure Ty Simpson. I have to, man. I just there's been so much made of Patrick Payton. There's been so much made of Jamari Butler. Gabe was just so good, man. Gabe was so good. And you're sorely missing Gabe. Whit Weeks is obviously not going to be good enough on the foot to play this game. He's still in the boot. It feels like he's not going to be ready to go. If he is, how much of him do you get? I have to see you get home. There has been so many freaking times in which there has been havoc, and then no sack. Pressure him, scramble, ball goes down the field, complete. You have to get home. You have to. I need to see Coach Peoples getting after it with the edge guys this week, and I need to see you getting on that defensive line and getting a sack or 2, just a couple. Not even anything crazy. And get him from the other side. You don't even have to get him on Caden's side. Get him on the other side. Get it through the middle. Jack Pyburn, can you set the edge? Can you stay disciplined in your run lanes? Can Perk stay disciplined in his run lanes? Push them back into the defense where the wave is. Don't bite on the play fake. They're going to run around you. Ty Simpson is mobile enough to get around you. He's not going to burn Perk off the edge and take it 90 yards to the house, but he could if no one's home. He could burn you for 15, he could burn you for 10, and he could burn you for 8 time and time again and make you exhausted and eat your heart out. If you let him, you have to stay disciplined. And the only way that you could do that is if you're disciplined in your pressure and if you can get home. But you have to stay in run lanes to do it. And Blake Baker has to do a good job of getting to his guys and saying, hey, man, look, I don't know what in God's green and blue earth you're looking at, but you have to stop biting on the play fake. It's play action. Your job is to not attack at the right then and there. It is to herd him back into the mush. That is what you are supposed to be doing. And so can we see that? Are you disciplined in your run lanes? Are you good enough to be successful in the little things that it takes to win the football game? Are you disciplined? Do you want it bad enough? Do you want to compete at the highest level? If not, then you can be a 4-5 loss football team and go to the Texas Bowl. Okay? But if you really want to shock the world, if you really want to go and get weird, if you really want to get weird, and I mean, if you want to get weird, stay disciplined and go find a way to take it to them on the road at Alabama. Let your team know that you can fight. That's what I want to see. That's what I want to see. I need to see you run the ball in 4 quarters. I need to see Trey Green continue to be Trey Green. Can you make him one-dimensional? Can the offensive line stand up by getting the ball out quickly? And can you pressure the quarterback? Let your DBs live on the island. Let them. Let them. If their receivers beat you, oh well, piss on them. If the DBs get burned from the receivers, throw your hands up. Good game. Good game, coach. But what I can't have in the fourth quarter is 0 pressure, 0 sacks, 427 yards of offense, and 160 rushing yards from a team that does not run the ball well. Bama does not run the football well. And you will give them the chance to do that if you are not disciplined in your schemes. And so that's really where I stand, y'all. I've said it to Russo off camera. I've said it here till I'm blue in the face. I am so over the semantics of X and who we're gonna get. All those things are gonna work itself out. Clearly, we're all interested in who the next coach is gonna be. I want to know, can we go on the road and play a football game and punch somebody in their shit? Excuse my language. Can we do that? Can we do that? Your back's against the wall. They fired the OC. They fired your head coach. They fired the AD. Everyone on Twitter says that you suck. Everyone wants to go watch the Sunday team. They suck more. So now they're back to you. They got people wanting to know if what's going on with Will Wade, if Will Wade's going to come back to the basketball team. Disrespectfully so, we still have football games to be played. It's Alabama week, and there are tweets about LSU men's basketball right now and what they're going to – and going and winning their game. Shout out. But it is literally Alabama week in college football. Like, hello? Does anyone on the team have a pulse? Does anyone want to go out and be the best that they can be? Does anyone want to go have a legacy game? Does Garrett want to go 25 of 32 for 415 and 4 tuds? What up? Does Harlem Berry want to go run for 135 and 2 touchdowns and 45 yards of 45 yards of receiving? Does Aaron Anderson want to have a century mark game? Does Chris Hilton want to go over the top and catch two deep catches? Just boom, boom. Like when are we going to see somebody have a legacy game, put their flag on the moon and say, we're not going to lay down without a fight? When is it going to happen? Who's going to do it? That's what I need to see. Because I am at the point now where you now are playing for pride. You're playing for pride. It feels like a 3-loss team, despite what crazy crap you might do or could do or may do. I don't care that Ole Miss and South Carolina were 13 and 14 and Alabama was 15 or whatever last year with 3 losses. There ain't finna be a 3-loss team in the college football playoff unless some crazy crap happens over the next few weeks. It feels like this may not be the year for that. But can you go out and prove that you have more in the tank? We'll see. And we'll certainly be here to cover all of it. We will certainly be here to talk about it. And we will certainly hopefully land in time back home to be able to watch it wire to wire. And that's going to wrap us up for the show, y'all. 39, 40 minutes in here. Thank you for all of those that are viewing. Thank you for all that watch. We absolutely love the feedback, y'all. The subscribers are going up and up. Please like and subscribe. Please. It just takes having a Google account or just a regular YouTube account. Please go like and subscribe. Share us out on the socials. If you're a TikTok fan, Russo's been killing it with the TikToks. Go out and check us out on social, y'all. Like, give us some feedback. Give us some comments in the video in the YouTube chat. For those of you that watch us on delay, we love you. Y'all are rad. Y'all are sick. We look forward to doing this every week, and I'm so incredibly pleased and privileged, for Russo to let me have the opportunity and the platform, to do this show. Shout out to my boy for really, doing all the heavy lifting as it relates to getting everything set up and looking right. And that's gonna, but that is gonna wrap us up. Like I said before, Thursday I will be on location. I will be at a hotel conference, coming to a state nearest you. Thought I might have gotten out of it and been able to leave like a day early so I can come back and have, maybe like a at home viewing session for like all of college football on Saturday. But unfortunately, I will be in the air, hopefully getting home as quickly as possible. So thank you for all that watched. We love you. Give us a like and subscribe, and we will see you all soon. Thank you for, again, like literally everything, because y'all are what makes the show go. And we will catch y'all in the next one.